Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back with another video, and this is featuring beautiful trims and blings and laces from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, and I will leave links to her store, Facebook group and Instagram in the description box below, and a list of all the designers. I wanted to do this video as a separate video showing you how to make the little folder that I had shown you that was made from an upcycled envelope that I had in my large folder from my design tea project last week. And so I wanted to show you that. And then I also did embellished a few parchment bags, and I wanted to show you those as well because I used the trims and laces I had from Kim's shop along with some other goodies that I had in my stash, and they turned out so pretty, and they're just so pretty for happy mail. Maybe I'll just show you those first and then I can clear them off my desk, and then I'll show you how I made that little envelope. So here they are, and these are actually well, someone gave me these little parchment bags. I think they're like they are 4 by 6, and I tea stained them, and then I did a little topper on this one with some paper line that I had in my stash, and then I added this gorgeous trim. It was in my design team package. I think I called it like a bridal trim. It has all these pearls on it. I don't even have any left because I cut it all up into pieces and I've used it on other projects as well, so you'll see more of it throughout. But it had this sort of woven bit through it, and then I separated that away and put a little piece here, and then this has the pearls and part of that there, and then the leaves on it, and this was also part of it, and I just took that down the side. Leaves along the bottom. I added in some little flowers from my stash. These are some little tatted flowers that I did. I also used the little bow trim that was in my design team package. I used that scattered on here. They are so cute, so precious, and they're on like you get a yard of them, and they're so cute. You can see that in my design team package, and I put one here on the paper clip too. And then this is one of the cute little cabochons that Kim has in the shop. She has many different kinds. I don't know if she has the little fairies anymore, but she has many to choose from. And they're all very pretty and look really nice on projects. This is one of my tatted flowers in behind here with this gorgeous cabochon on it. And then I just did a little bit of lace from my stash, and then another little bit of those leaves and a flower from my stash. And then I added a little charm on there. And then this one, I did the paper clip on here, and it just always gets caught on that lace on the back, of course. And then inside of them, I just tucked little matchbook little books. So if there's some embellishment here from that one lace that I said, and I cut it all out of the actual lace. This is the trim here. It's so pretty, but I cut out this piece here, just made it in an applique, and I added that there. And then this is a bit of the fan trim, and then a couple little flowers from my stash. And then, like I said, these are just those little matchbook type books with some papers inside. And I just thought these would be really cute for happy mail. And I did the paper clip for here. What I do is I just leave a little spot somewhere along where you glue your lace on, or whatever you use at the top here. Just leave a little spot where it's not glued so that you can slide your paper clip through there. And it kind of gets hidden. I usually pick a spot where it kind of gets hidden there behind the flower. You can see it there. And that holds this bag together. This little butterfly is just created from, they're like little confetti bits that you get. And I just added a little acrylic flower and some stamens on there for the antennae. Anyways, happy how that one turned out. It's very pretty. This is another one I did. This is the parchment bag again. This one is white. It is not tea stained. And I put a piece of pink paper on it, and then I put that gorgeous floral and sequin bling lace from Kim's shop on top. There's a bit of the pink lace along the bottom, and that I just used a piece off the lace. So instead of using, I'd used the whole piece in my last design team project. This time I just cut off and used this little bit here, which is this little bit right at the bottom here. And then again, I used it again and used a different, you can cut it in many different ways to use it. So that's really fun too with her. I love being able to do that with her laces because you can create so many things. Then I just added some little butterflies and a hummingbird from my stash. And then this is one of the gorgeous little bows that was in my design team package. And I actually just glued it right in the center, and then I pulled it up as it was gluing on. And so it created this cute little, it's almost a little bit three-dimensional. And then on the back, I just have a little journaling card that I added on there and another little charm. And then this one has just the paper clip on the top here, which of course is acting like as if it's glued on there. And then inside this one is another one of the little flippy books. This one I decorated again with the pink lace and some more of the sequins that I had left over. And then again, it flips open and it has some papers, tea stained and beat dyed, and some other little things in there. Cute little flippy pad. You can either take the pages out to use them, or you can just use it as a little notepad for writing down lists or whatever. And then that paper clip pops back on there. And again, it has a spot right behind the bow where it comes through that lace, so it does hold the contents of the bag in there. So that's that one. And then here's another one. This one again is a tea stained one, and this one I used the edging of this lace. I showed you that I had cut this out, and I did that again and used them as appliques. And then this edging part here, the scallop part, I used it along the bottom here. I used 3 pieces of it and positioned them just underneath the doily. And this is actually a cupcake holder under here in the pink, and that sort of creates the topper for this bag. And I stapled it all in place with a couple little Tim Holtz staples, and there's one of the beautiful beige bows again. And then here's another piece of that and another piece cut out and used as appliques. One of her gorgeous little bling hearts with the pearls and rhinestones, so pretty. And then this one has a paper clip at the bottom with a little charm on it. That charm is from my stash. Kim does have some charms in the shop, but I don't think I have any of hers at the moment. And then this is another piece of that pink trim. And then this bag, it has the finished topper on the top, which just goes over the whole top. And then, like I said, I stapled it. So I did a little embellishment on it. And then this bag, I opened it from the bottom, so you never have to disturb your gorgeous topper. And I just put a little sticker on the bottom here and lifted, and this lifts really easily after you tea stain because that glue gets a bit wet. And then when you dry the bag, it just opens up really easily. And then all your goodies slip out from the bottom. This one has another one of the little matchbook books in it with some of that pink lace, some of the scallop lace along the bottom. That, again, from the lace cut out in like an applique. And again, one of the little bows. And then again, it opens up. And there's some little tickets and goodies in there and some other things that are... And some of it's loose and some of it's stapled in. So you can make them quite fun, actually, because you can tuck lots of little goodies inside of them. And for the person to find, especially if you're sending this for a happy mail. And this little acrylic flower that's on here is also originally from Kim's shop. Just still have it in my stash. So that turns out really cute when you can open the bottom of the bag, and therefore you don't have to disturb all your pretty topper. And again, that paper clip fits in with a little bit of an opening in the lace, and you got your little rose hanging down and your goodies inside. That turned out, I really like that one too. And then this is another one that I did, and again, this is done with a topper, so finishing off the top of the bag with this beautiful trim, with some of her scroll trim, and did some of the pearl, the trim with the pearls on it at the bottom. A couple of little flowers from my stash. Well, another one of her cabochons, and some digi papers that I had. This is another pink cupcake holder piece underneath here that wraps around the whole top and allowed me to attach these bits to it. There's a little bit of paper in the background that has a texture to it, and one of my little tatted butterflies. And then again, this one it's all finished on the back. And then I just put a collection of flowers here that I fussy cut out. And again, the bottom opens up. You can see the tea staining. And then again, in this one is another one of the little books. This one's to the side. So the other ones were turned this way. This one I turned this way. And again, I added some of that fussy cut sequins and flowers out of that pretty trim that I've shown. And it's this one right here. And you can see, and I mentioned before, you can easily fussy cut out the string, like rows of the sequins and the flowers, and you can use that then. I just glued them on with my art glitter glue and some hot glue on the flowers. And this opens up the same as the others. Some of the pieces are stapled in with a little Tim Holtz staple that's at the bottom here. And then there's some little extra. This is a more scrappy one. I have a couple little things tucked in there, and then some scrappier bits of paper in there as well. It's fun to use up your scraps and share them with other people, and you can do that by doing these kind of little folders. And that's just the paper line on the back. That's a digital from Shabbydabbydoodah. And then the bags are big enough that you easily could tuck in a few more things in there if you wanted to before you send that as happy mail. And I find that if you wrap just a piece of tissue paper over the top of this type of thing, even this is safe to go through the mail. They don't really feel that too much if there's tissue over the top, and you can send it in a business size envelope. One this size works quite well. It will slide in with the tissue around it, and you can mail that off. And it's slightly more expensive than a regular stamp, but not that bad, and certainly not as expensive as sending a package. So they do work quite well for happy mail. And then with the laces cascading down towards me, I'm going to show you how I made these. And I made 3 more because I really was having fun making these little altered envelopes. And like I said, it's very similar to the one that was in my journal. It was on it was in the folder as you opened it up, and then behind the journal, slid into that lace belly band, was one of these. And it was this way, and it was long and skinny. So, but they're super easy to make, and all 3 of these are made with envelopes, and I'll just show you right now how to do it. So you can take any size envelope you want. These 2 here, the smaller ones, the purple one and the pink one here, are made with a business envelope like this, which is about 4 by 9, I believe. And I think this one, you can see it's cut down a little bit at the top, so it's not quite as wide as the 4 inches. Could certainly leave it the full, and then you cut it down when you do your fold over to make that part of it. So this is the exact same envelope here. I've just started doing the cutting. So you can see I cut a bit off, probably 1/2 inch off the top, and then you open up the top and the bottom, so the whole thing opens, and you have a spine that runs here, and then you have this piece is a little bit longer, and that becomes your fold over or your flap. That is your closure. And in this one, I used a little piece of ribbon and attached it on the back. This one I did not finish it on the back because my intent with this one would be that it would go in a journal, and you could attach it on the sides and on the bottom, and then it would be an extra pocket on the back as well. And then when it opens, it has, you know, there's room to journal here or to add a photo or something, but you could journal on this with a black pen. There's lots of journaling space here. This is originally what the original one from Tina showed looked like. This, you put a piece of paper here that becomes a pocket, and you then, so that's finished. Even without the journaling card in there, it looks finished, but you make a journaling card that also fits inside. So that's a little journaling card. I put a little tab on it to make it easier to pull it in and out of this one. So that sticks up like that, and it shows through the window of your envelope. And then I added some of that bow trim from Kim's shop on the edge here. So cute. A scroll from the scroll ones that I got from Kim's shop. The little flowers are from my stash. And this is a piece of bling from Kim's shop. And then when this is down on the page, I made sure this was glued down so that there won't be any trouble if you're tucking things in behind. And then once it's glued down, and if you tuck things inside this little folder or you write inside of it, you can tie it, you can tie it closed again, and then it's going to sit in your journal just like that. And it would be so cute. I wonder if I have a journal page here, so I could show you. Just take this piece of paper that I have stained with beet juice. And so you would glue it down on your page like that, and glue it down on there, and on this side. Or you could glue the top closed and have it as a side pocket as well, or leave the top open and have it as a top loading. And then you have a spot where you can add in, you know, something in behind it as well. You would have that pocket. You would have this pocket, of course, that has your journaling card in it, which wants to get stuck, but there it is. And it's a bit tight because of it's tied at the moment, but so cute. And if you left it open on this side, you would have a spot on this side to tuck something in this way if you wanted. So it just depends on how you position it in where you want to put it, or you can finish the back completely, which is what I did with some of the others, this one, and then you can send this whole thing as happy mail. So this is done at the same idea. This particular envelope had a window, a large window here, and so I created this one, and it's more short and a different shape than that. But again, just work with the envelope you have. I put a little tie on here that I attached with under one of Kim's gorgeous little bows again. And this trim is also still in the shop. This is from a previous design team package, but it's such a pretty trim. It looks so nice on there. And I just added a couple of little paper flowers from my stash. And then this one opens the same. It opens up, and there you have, again, a plain piece of paper on the back, and you glue it down on the 3 sides, and then that creates your pocket. So when you pull your journal card out, this is still completely finished, because this is what you choose, a paper that has a plain back on it, and then I just stained it with some, I think that one, I can't tell, I think that's beet juice that I had in a spray bottle, and so I sprayed, and so it's splotchy. And then this was the other side of the paper, which matches with some of the papers on the outside. This is just a little piece of fussy cut out piece that I attached on there. And then you do your tag to go inside, which of course is all finished. And then it fits in the top. So you usually finish it off in some way that looks pretty looking out there. And I put a tab on the top of that. And then you open it up. And again, this one has papers in it. I added some papers, and this one has got a bit of a flip there, some fussy cuts, another flip here, a couple of little extra pieces in here, and this is actually a piece of an index card, and then there's your paper on the back, and then there's your closure, which goes around, comes underneath that bow, and then I put this little bead on the bottom. I thought it was pretty and it went along with that. And it just keeps that weighted down too so that it stays all wrapped nicely there. And that one is completely finished on the back with just some collaging, different little bits of scraps that I have, which is perfect. So what you want to do is you want to do your back piece first. So before you make your pocket for the front, this is your fold right here. You want to take it past the fold, and that will strengthen that area. So as you can see, I'm going to have to collage it a bit, but that's fine because I've got lots of extra paper here anyway. So what I would do is I'm going to put this on here first. It will automatically, the minute you go on camera, and all crafters that do videos will know this to be true, your glue bottle will automatically just make you look like you don't know what you're doing. So I'm just going to move these up a little bit. Okay, so again, where was my fold? Right there. I want to go past that with my paper. So, and I don't know, anyone who works with art glitter glue, you know you can't lift it once you put it down. And sorry for the shaking because my desk is very small and it reacts if I move any movement at all on my table. So now I'm going to cut this off at the top, up along the top here. And sometimes I use a paper cutter, but most of the time when I'm doing this kind of work at my desk, I don't, because my paper cutter is not right handy here. So I just freehand it with a scissor, and I hope for the best. Okay. So there's the back, and I need to put a piece in here, but I also want this is also going to become, and I don't want to fold this right away. You want to let your glue dry before you put your fold back in, because otherwise that can buckle in there. This flap is also going to flap to the front. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a piece of this paper right in here in the fold, and then I'm going to wrap it around the other side, because then I am going to have enough to go around the other side. So I'm just going to place that right up against there. And again, if you let that dry well, you hardly can even see the seam there. And then it's going to wrap around to this side. Okay, so I glued it on here, and then I wrapped it around, and I'm going to glue it on this side. Okay. Again, I do not want to bend this until it's had some time for the glue to dry. This one is probably more dry now, so I'm going to give it a whirl. So I just go to where the seam is on the outside here and give it a bend. That's pretty good. And so now I can take this one and I can put it in here where I want it. And I want to have those purple flowers showing through. So that is where I'm going to cut it, at least so that I can get it glued in there. So we'll just cut this bottom off, just cutting right along the edge of the envelope, and I'll keep that little piece because it's quite pretty. And I'm also going to go up the side here. Okay, it's going to become the pocket then that goes in here. So we're just going to glue along here. Well, again, then we'll go along there, and we're going to go along there. And the top is going to remain open, and you want to make sure that you keep your paper in the right position to go in your window. And that's the way I want it. I'm going to place this right down here. And now I can trim this off. And I have a little bit piece here that needs tidying up. And that's good. And there you have the base of your folder. So this can probably be bent over now, and you'll see. There we go. Like this one, like this one. They're just different sizes. You have your folder that would open up, and then this is a pocket where you will make a tag to insert in there. And then if you wanted to, you can add some pages into here, and you could staple them in, you could sew them in, you could sew them in on the machine. You can do many different things to put the papers in there. But even if you didn't want to put the papers in, these are really, really cute little additions that you can add. And then if you're going to, I would collage the front of this with more papers. I can use some of the papers that I have cut off already from making the rest of it. You know, I can add these in and then add some other papers that match. I can leave the back unfinished if I'm going to use it to glue in, like I showed you before, or you can finish this off like I did with this one in order to send it as a standalone, or leave it like this one, blank. And then I'll just show you this bigger one that I did. This is done with an envelope more like this, a bigger size. This is I think before I cut it down, it was 5.5 by 9.5. I did cut about 1/2 inch off the top. And this is I cut about 2 inches off the end here. And this part here will also get cut off, because you don't need, with you putting your papers on top, you don't need this extra bulk. So this piece here would come off, and you would cut the bottom of the envelope off too. So this little piece comes off. So that little piece comes off the front so that you just have the one single piece flapping over. And then also you would want to open up the bottom. So you just cut very little sliver off the end here. Oops, a little sliver off the end, and then it opens completely. And you just cover it the exact same way as I did with the other one, and you have a much bigger one now. And this has a lovely big window in it, so you'll be able to do a really pretty page behind that one. And then this is just a little bit of paper I have that if I cut it down, that would work beautifully in there. And then again, just collaging on the outside with something that matches or complements, and you're off to making one more like this. And this is got quite a few little pages inside, and I embellished it with that fan trim from Kim's shop, and I cut each piece individually. It comes like this, and I cut each piece individually, and I put the gorgeous flower from her shop down first, and then I pieced those in behind it to create the layer of petals behind it. So this fan trim is so versatile because sometimes you can use it and it looks like a leaf, and other times you can use it and it makes petals. And then I used the full piece of it at the bottom here for a trim there. And the rest of these are little bits of laces from my stash. This one is completely finished on the back. It's collaged. This is a piece here, here, and then another piece on the side. So several pieces, again, looking at my scraps and piecing them together. And then this one, I just used a little tiny piece of ribbon from my stash, and I added just a little pink bow there, added some sticker butterflies on the front, and then this opens the exact same way as the others. This one, I did not make the pocket in the front. I actually, when I was gluing this, made a mistake and glued it across the top. So I said, oh well, mistakes can happen too. And so this one, it has the journaling space here underneath, has some food dyed paper there. And then I added in a little journaling card and a little tuck spot. And then I put in this little journal inside. It's got this gorgeous paper with the hummingbirds. I've added in some pockets and some journaling cards, food stained pages, tea stained pages, some little butterflies. What else do I have? A little digital part of a fairy house, some washi, some more digital papers, a little envelope in the middle here with a journal card in it. This is washi tape I found that you color it yourself. So it just comes black and white, and so I colored that with my markers. Sewed the pages in with some embroidery floss. And again, washi and a corner tuck. And so I made a cute little journal in there. That's the back page of the journal, journaling room there, and then the back of the journal itself. And then there it is. And it's all made from that same idea, using the envelope and just taking it a step further and adding in the pages and creating a little folder, little journal out of it. And then that could be tucked in a bigger journal, or this could be sent. This could easily be sent too as happy mail. How nice would that be to receive that in the mail from someone with a thinking of you? So nice, pretty flat. And again, this, if you put a little bit of tissue around it and again pop it into a business size envelope, it doesn't cost you as much as a parcel would, and it's turned out really cute. So use up your envelopes. I save them. I never can part with an envelope. I love getting them in the different sizes because it's fun to be able to do the different sizes with them, because that's 3 different sized envelopes, and they turn out really different depending on what you have. And then the parchment bags are so much fun to do too, because you can tuck goodies in them and they look so pretty. So I hope you will have some fun making some of these altered envelopes, or maybe you might like to get some paper bags or make some paper bags and do some embellishing on those, and pop over to Kim's shop and pick yourself up some of these laces, because look at how great they look and how far you can go when you can cut up, or you can use your scraps to make these fun things. I hope you guys are all having a great day and you are happy and healthy, and I hope to talk to you all soon with another inspiring project. Bye for now.